Let's now look at question 5. Okay, in question 5, you are given the function v, which shows the amount of water in the leaking time at t seconds. So you're supposed to find the rate at which the water leaves the tank. Okay, so to find the rate, remember, one way to find the rate is to find the dy over dx, where in this case here, since there's no y, there's no x, it's actually to find dv over dt. But before we do that, okay, just so that you understand what's going on here, even though this is not asked in the question, okay, I just want you to figure out, now, at t equals to 0, can you tell me what is v? Okay, if you put t equals to 0, you find that v is actually equals to 15 cubed. So this represents the initial volume of water in the tank. Because you realize that at t equals to 0, alright, is when the time hasn't started, so water hasn't started filling up. So this is really the initial volume of water. Now, why is this function only valid for t from 0 to 15? Because you realize that when t hits 15, okay, what do you realize? Then v is actually equals to 0. And what does this imply? Since v represents the amount of water in the tank, so at t equals to 15, okay, all the water in the tank would actually have flowed out. So this is to help you understand the function. Okay, now let's go on to find the rate at which the water leaves the tank. We will need to find out the rate by taking dv over dt. And to do this, okay, this is actually quite simple. We move the power down. Power minus 1, remember to differentiate inside. And you actually get negative 3, 15 minus t squared. Okay, and at t equals to 4, okay, dv over dt is equals to negative 3 times 15 minus 4 squared. So it's negative 3 times 11 squared, which is negative 3 times 121. Okay, which gives you negative 363. Okay, and the units will be cm cubed per second. Right, so you find that this shows that the water is leaving the tank at the rate of negative 363 cm cubed per second. Okay, the negative sign implies that the volume of the water in the tank is actually decreasing. In fact, if you look at dv over dt, okay, what you can realize is that for dv over dt, this dv over dt is always less than 0, okay, because of this square here. We have something square, so this is always positive, but multiplied by negative 3, you have something that's always negative. And by intuition, this makes sense because this shows that the volume of water, okay, is always decreasing. And it is the case because the question says that the water is leaking out of the tank. So you find that in actual fact, dv over dt is less than 0 for the range that is stated, t from 0 to 15. So we can conclude that the volume of water in the tank is decreasing. Okay, this is not actually asked in the question, but if you look at this, okay, you should be able to see these points over here.